mergers and acquisitions could highly negatively affect ISA license. From antitrust regulatory perspective, how to optimize the balance of ISA ownership and its commercial applications?
People have not thought a lot about ISA ownership over the last 20 years, and that's because we've had a fairly stable environment with nothing really affected by mergers and acquisitions. However, if we look back further into time, digital equipment in the 1980s, they were the dominant mini computer manufacturer. And when Unix was coming up, and also at the same time, reduced instruction set architectures were of interest, they created their own ISA, which was called the Alpha. And they built workstations that were using their version of Unix and based on this Alpha architecture. Now, this was a good ISA, but it was proprietary to digital equipment. Digital equipment was then purchased in the 90s by Compaq, and there were overlaps in the product line between digital equipment and Compaq. And so Compaq eliminated a number of product lines, including the Alpha. So what had been technically a very good instruction set architecture just disappeared from the market. We've seen something similar with MIPS. The MIPS architecture ended up being bought out, and for a short while it was available as an open standard, but then it was withdrawn from the market by the new owners of MIPS, which is Wave Computing. So ownership matters, and this is really a danger of a commercial proprietary ISA. Of course, x86 and ARM have been very safe choices in the past, but there is always some risk. And this is why I think RISC-V has been really pioneering. RISC-V is owned not by a company, but by an international association. So you can say that the architecture is owned by the electronics industry through the members of RISC-V International. And so it is a far safer area than working with a proprietary commercial architecture.
Why do you believe RISC-V has a promising future?
We are in an exciting time with RISC-V. RISC-V has been around about 10 years now, and it started off as an academic project, and it could have just remained like the original generations of RISC, more or less in the academic environment. But it has generated a lot of interest from industry, which is why I think it's going to be successful. I think RISC-V brings a number of benefits. One is it is an open standard, so you don't run into the issues of merger and acquisition or vendor lock. If you have a dominant position in a market, one of the problems is that as a monopolist, you can basically dictate unreasonable business terms to your customers. Now, RISC-V means that you've got a choice of suppliers for things like processor IP, and if one of those suppliers were to go out of business, you are assured of being able to continue your investment because you can go to an alternative RISC-V supplier. So I think that RISC-V represents a very good long-term investment. Secondly, as an instruction set, it has a number of advantages over, for example, ARM or x86. Both of those instruction sets have grown enormously over the years. Now, RISC-V has a modular instruction set, which means that you have a base instruction set, which is compulsory. It has to be always there. And that is very, very small and simple. You then have a number of ratified extensions, which you can optionally use. And then thirdly, you can create your own custom extensions, which allows you to tune your processor to the needs of your particular workload. So there are a number of technical and also business reasons why I think RISC-V should have a great future.